weather usually means we think of warm things to eat, and soup is often in that category. Generally, we think of vegetable soup, beef soup, chicken soup, and those kinds of things. Today, we're doing pumpkin soup, something a little bit special. It has a lot of the ingredients you would associate with pumpkin pie and usual pumpkin breads and that kind of thing, but it's got the savory things in there too. I've got 2 teaspoons of olive oil or other vegetable oil, half a cup of chopped onion, 2 celery stalks that have been cut up fairly small. Now, one of the nice things about this one, many times you'll see recipes for this kind of soup, but it has to be go through a blender later on to smooth it all up. This one does not. That's 2 garlic cloves that are minced up and a teaspoon of minced fresh ginger is going to go in there. And then something a little bit unusual for a savory kind of soup, I've got 2 teaspoons of sugar. We're going to stir those all together and let those cook for about 4 minutes just to get nice and soft. All right, now these are some of the traditional ingredients we associate with pumpkin. That's 1/4 of a teaspoon of nutmeg, just a pinch or so of cinnamon, and then a half a teaspoon of salt is optional. We're going to use some chicken broth. So if you have chicken broth that you've made it yourself and you know there's no salt in it, or you're trying to reduce the salt, then go ahead and leave that out and that'll cut that down a little bit. Stir those together just a smidgen, because we're going to add some more things to this. Next thing we're going to add is 1 potato, medium potato. You peel it, you cut it up. The original recipe said to cut it into about 1-inch pieces, and that seemed to be a little bit large because, as I said, this is not one of those soups that we're going to pulverize later or strain or drain or anything like that. So the smaller pieces seem to be better to use for eating. Also, I've got about 1.5 to 2 cups of pumpkin. Now, the type of pumpkin you use, this is actually canned pumpkin because it's the easiest thing to do, and that's about 1 can of strained pumpkin. You cannot can your own home-made pumpkin strained, so you'd have to strain it yourself, and it may take more than 1 can. Your alternative would be to get a real pumpkin. You'd need to get one that's a pie pumpkin as opposed to a Halloween jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. These types are great for decorating with, but they're very stringy. The flavor is not as good, and so they just don't work properly. So if you're going to use this type, actually you don't even need to cook it beforehand. Go ahead and cut it into about the same size pieces that you cut your potato. And use about 2 cups of those, and then you're just going to cook it until both the pumpkin and the potato are tender. Next thing going in here is 4 cups of either vegetable stock or non-fat chicken stock. So about 1/4 of that. Stir those together, bring it up to a boil, and then cover it partially and let it simmer for about 20 minutes or until the potatoes and or the pumpkin are tender. Okay, after about 20 minutes, you're just going to check and make sure the potatoes are soft enough. Now, I used a red potato. You could have used a regular russet potato. It depends on if you want it to be a little bit mushier or if you want it to hold its shape. Look at the gorgeous color here. This makes, I believe it was 4 servings. Could have been 6. We'll have to double check. You can check it on the website. And then to make it even more spectacular, what we're going to do is put just a little bit of non-fat sour cream on the top, and it's going to sink down in, and then when people eat it they can swirl it around and gives it an even more creamy and great taste to it. And then a little bit of decoration, we'll put a few chopped up green onions on the top of here. This is a great meal. It makes a great lunch or a great dinner when you're not wanting something very, very heavy. Pumpkin soup. Try this one. For Oklahoma Gardening, this is Barbara Brown.